NCEL was founded as an informal, bipartisan response to activist groups, anti-environmental state legislators, and corporations seeking to weaken environmental safeguards that protect the air we breathe and the water we drink. NCEL's founders believed there needed to be a counterbalancing weight that was committed to conserving our nation's natural resources. It's our theory that the key to advancing sound conservation policies is a well-informed legislature with key champions who can advocate on behalf of the environment and help to educate their colleagues on both sides of the aisle. Unfortunately, many legislators have little or no experience addressing environmental issues when first elected to office. The goal of NCEL is to ensure that state legislators have the resources and information they need to make sound policy decisions on important environmental issues. As you can imagine, it can be difficult for legislators to fully grasp all of the intricacies of over 1,000 bills in a 2-month legislative session. That's the crux of the problem that NCEL is seeking to solve. We work with environmental groups and our existing members to identify newly elected legislators who are concerned about the environment and provide them with the facts they need to make sound policy decisions. At NCEL, we understand that policy victories are not born in a vacuum. That's why we work with state-based environmental advocates, policy researchers, and the grassroots community to coordinate their issue platform with our education agenda. While other organizations work with state legislators, it is the singular focus of our mission on the environment that separates NCEL. We are able to bring together Democrats and Republicans by having a check your party at the door policy. As a result, our forums are able to explore some of the most controversial issues of the day and have an open dialogue of possible solutions. NCEL's key to success is simple. Informed legislators are effective advocates. That's why we provide legislators with a network to share information, give them the facts needed to make informed policy decisions, and create a forum for the sharing of ideas and best practices. Each year, NCEL brings together legislators from across the Midwest for a 3-day conference focused on issues ranging from clean air and water to nuclear safety and hydraulic fracturing. Over the years, legislators attending the forum have gone on to be the chief sponsors of legislation such as the Great Lakes Compact, a water restoration plan adopted by each of the Great Lakes states and signed by both Democratic and Republican governors throughout the region. Our success is our ability to provide legislators the resources needed to enact policies that benefit the environment. We recognize this can be a difficult measure of success in the short term, as the lawmaking process can be quite extensive. However, we can gauge our success by evaluating whether legislators seek assistance from NCEL on a given issue, if more representatives and senators of both political parties are supporting our members' efforts, if a greater number of NCEL members actively participate in the caucus through actions, activities, and events, and finally, whether our members and issues are receiving coverage in the media. The objective of an NCEL is to help policymakers make informed decisions on environmental issues. We do not take positions on individual pieces of legislation, nor do we lobby our members to take certain positions on the issues. This is NCEL's defining characteristic and what makes the caucus appealing to members of all political parties. By not taking a position on individual issues, NCEL attracts bipartisan membership and is able to educate legislators on all environmental issues. Experience has shown that legislators become more open on issues the more they learn about them. NCEL measures our accomplishments and the strength of our organization and the ability of our members to win concrete victories. From an organizational perspective, our largest accomplishment is the overall growth of the caucus. When NCEL hired its first full-time staffer in 2001, the caucus consisted of approximately 150 members from nearly 20 states. Over the intervening time, NCEL has grown to more than 975 members with representation in all 50 states, Washington, D.C., and the province of Ontario. Additionally, our educational efforts have helped legislators achieve major policy victories in deploying clean energy, establishing a regional greenhouse gas reduction program in New England, passage of the Great Lakes Compact, and reining in toxic chemicals. The largest challenge facing the caucus is how to fully meet the needs and requests of our membership. Each day, NCEL staff receives calls from legislators asking for assistance on a variety of issues. Unfortunately, the caucus has very few unrestricted funds. In 2012, 98% of our budget was restricted to project-specific funding. What we need and are actively seeking are funders who are willing to make a multi-year commitment to funding NCEL's overall work. At NCEL, we pride ourselves on being an organization that can do a lot with a little. As we seek to grow NCEL, in the future it's our aim to be able to hire individual program directors in a variety of environmental issue areas, including clean energy and clean air, chemical policy reform, clean water, and conservation issues such as protecting public lands and wildlife. Filling these positions would allow NCEL to proactively identify issues at the state level, perform the research our members need to support sound policy solutions, and better connect legislators with both the grassroots and advocacy communities within their states. Among the many reasons why the work of NCEL is so important is the fact that Congress is simply ineffective. Unfortunately, there aren't enough members of Congress who can articulately defend and advance environmental causes. Over the years, we have seen a continuous growth of our alumni serving in Congress, and this influx of NCEL's bipartisan membership could be just what Congress needs to get moving on environmental issues. That's why we would like to provide leadership training to our members who are considering running for higher office.